ESG, environmental, social, and governance funds, are investments and prioritizes companies with social practices in sustainability, ethical, social impact, and responsible governance. These funds aim to align financial returns with positive environmental and social outcomes.
We are going to take different decision-making roles responsible for running an ESG funds. They need to decide whether to include the profitable oil company that has recently made improvements in their environmental issues, but still their ESG scores are low. We are going to weigh the financial benefits of including the oil company against the ESG funds missions and investors' expectations, and answer the question, should the company prioritize financial performance or strictly adhere to its ESG principles. In the following role play, the company finalizes the decision to invest in the ESG fund in the oil company or not.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Please take your seats. So thank you for joining, everyone. As you have all known, we have discussed about the oil companies and their profits and whether to include them in our ESG funds or not. I've been going through their files and I have seen that they have made some progress in their environmental issues, but overall their ESG scores are still pretty low. As per the finances, Shashank, what's your take on that?
So, this oil company is very profitable, especially with their investments in renewable energy. Their financial performance could really boost our funds. Yes, their ESG score is low, but they are showing improvement. If we don't consider them, then we might lose a big opportunity.
I see. It's a tough call. We need to balance the profits and our ESG commitments.
From my perspective, the oil company has too many red flags. Sure, they have made some environmental changes, but the record on labor practice and governance are still a problem.
You are right. If we include them and they slip up, it could hurt our reputation, and investors these days pay close attention to these details.
That's my worry too. Supporting them might like compromising our values.
Then we need a solid plan to monitor their progress if we decide to proceed.
Many of our investors want good returns, but they also want adherence to ESG principles. They're okay with taking risks, but they want us to stay true to our mission.
And we have to be mindful of that, including this company might boost profit, but we don't want to appear as we are ignoring their past mistakes. It's a tough balance between what's right and what's profitable.
True, but if we can somehow push the company in the right direction, we might show our investors that we are making a positive impact.
Only if we can hold them accountable for real changes.
I take your point, Preeti. However, there is a thing that we can try a middle ground approach. We could add the company to our fund, but set specific ESG targets that they have to meet.
Well, that makes sense. It lets us take advantage of their financial strength. But we should ensure that they are making a real progress on their ESG commitments. And if they don't, then we can drop them.
Right. It's a way to keep both our financial and ESG goals in check.
It's not without risks, but it could be a win-win if managed carefully.
I will draft a monitoring plan. It will help us keep an eye on their progress and minimize potential fallout.
Agree, Mr. Salana. They need to prove their commitment to improving. If they don't, we need to be prepared to cut ties quickly.
I will draft a monitoring plan. It will help us keep an eye on their progress and minimize potential fallout.
That sounds a good start. Transparency will be key here.
The phased approach with clear conditions seems to be a reasonable compromise. Mr. Tiwari, do you think that it aligns with our goal?
Yes, we must ensure that the target we set are tough enough. They should know that we are serious about the ESG standards.
Okay, that's fair. Sharik, make sure that we communicate this to our investors as to why we are taking this decision.
Sure.
And We need to emphasize that if the company doesn't meet these standards, they will out of the fund.
I take your point, but do you think the investors will support this plan? It's a bit of a balancing act.
I think so. They'll appreciate that we are being careful, but also giving the company a chance to improve. It shows that we are not just focused on the short-term gains.
And by being upfront about our plan, we can keep their trust.
Exactly. And I'll prepare a communication plan that conveys our approach clearly.
Okay team, it looks like we have a plan. We will include the company with clear ESG targets, and if they don't meet them, we will simply remove them. Raghav, you need to formulate a plan for the monitoring process of the report.
Absolutely. I will make sure we are ready to track their progress closely.
Great, it looks like we have a plan. Let the investor know about our decision. So, thank you everyone for your inputs.
Our approach integrates a focus on overall well-being and stakeholders theory, with practical finance strategies including risk management and value-based investing. Ethical framework. By applying a strict ESG benchmark to the oil company, we aim to enhance financial returns while prioritizing the greater good. Stakeholders' commitment. This strategy reflects our responsibility to all stakeholders and society. Risk management. Our risk management plans ensures accountability to the ethical standards. Value-based investing. We emphasize long-term sustainable growth over the short-term gains. Overall, this holistic approach balances financial performance with ethical integrity, navigating the complexity of modern investing while forecasting a positive societal impact.